Let me play this. This is live, right?
Moose shit.
Welcome to Moose Show, where we spout bullshit. My name is Moose, and I'm joined live by all of you guys. Though none of you guys are joining, because I don't think anyone realizes we could do a live show. Hi. So, this is just gonna be us talking for like the next couple of minutes. Simply just cause uh I don't want to do the third part of the trilogy. Um Also, I don't have any guests or my typical co-hosts. They're busy, I think. I hope. Um but yeah, so let's talk about that trilogy. This is completely unscripted, obviously, because it's live. First, second, I'm not gonna do the third part of that trilogy because the way that it was supposed to work is that September is how can I say this in a let's not get flagged way. It talks about ending one's going to sleep permanently, right? It talks about that, and it addresses like the stages that people go through when going through that. So like that first episode, Shatter, that was supposed to be um intrusive thoughts that come into your mind. The voice that I was talking to is supposed to be an intrusive thought that everyone has, but the point of it is that when you let it take a hold, when you just say, you know what, this intrusive thought, even though I know the truth, I think that this intrusive thought is in some sense right. And when you let that happen, you get to the second part, which is numb. This intrusive thought has now taken a hold of your own personality and it's like rooted in there. And so no matter who you look to for help, the other person's supposed to being a healthcare professional or something like that, you're unwilling to accept that help just because you feel as though you know that you're right, and you know that um what your thoughts are true, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks because at the end of the day they only have snapshots, glimpses as to who you are. They don't necessarily see all of you, right? um so that was like the entire point of that episode, those episodes, and the ending point, which was, oh well, what happens if why did I say sorry at the end of the episode? And it was supposed to be talking about, it's supposed to transition to the third part of this trilogy, which is the main point is when people go to sleep permanently, when they end their existence here, it's not necessarily out of, oh, my life sucks, it's terrible, I hate living here, I should end it. It is mostly because they think of themselves as burden. They think of that act as an act of selflessness. And they do it because they want to try and they want to do what's best for other people. And they feel like the best situation is if they're not around. And so that was supposed to be the sort of semblance. The reason I'm not doing the third part anymore, though, is because I don't necessarily trust myself on actually delivering that third part. The fact that I had to answer a bunch of questions with regards to the first two parts makes me realize, oh, well, I guess I'm not necessarily conveying the thoughts and opinions and emotions that are needed for this type of thing. And so I don't want to tackle the third part because I feel like if I do, I'm going to do a piss poor job at it. And so I'm just going to stick with not doing it at all and just hoping just you know talking today, right? Because that's fine. I hope just me talking. Um, yeah. So nothing much has been going on in my life. I've been at work recently, mostly, like working pretty long hours, like close to like 45, 48 hours ish. So that's like an extra day of work. Um, and it's like tiring, man. I just want to like get over with it, and like hopefully this is like the last weekend that I have to work as hard as I do, and then after that I'm just sort of chilling. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty difficult. Um, let's talk about current events, I guess. Kendrick is playing at the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool. I I know like a lot of people are like, oh my god, why isn't Lil Jon at the not Lil Jon, why isn't Lil Wayne playing at the Super Bowl? It's New Orleans. It makes complete sense to for him to be there. And yeah, I mean sorta does, but like it also sorta doesn't. Lil Wayne, while he still does perform and does concerts currently, he's not that big of as big of a rapper as he used to be back in his heyday. Um, and that's not necessarily a disqualifying factor. They had Usher play last year, but then on top of that, you had Jay Z, who has generally an issue with Lil Wayne. Um, on top of that, Kendrick has been the biggest, not just rapper but musical artist in general, like this year. Like it's him, Drake, and Taylor Swift. And I'm pretty sure out of the three, it's easiest for Jay Z to get Kendrick to do the Super Bowl than it is for him to get Taylor or Drake to do it. Um, so I don't necessarily mind, and I hope no one else minds because I think like the performance is like based off like the pop out concert that he did. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good Super Bowl performance. I expect to have a good time at least. Um, See, this is the issue with me doing this third episode unscripted, A, and then B. I wasn't really necessarily planning on doing a solo episode today. I'd like I tried to like get other people on this episode, but I just didn't get any replies or anything like that. Um, so now it's just me sort of rambling, trying to fill time and stuff like that, which I feel like just makes for a bad episode. Like I'm not gonna be surprised if this doesn't get any views. If it does, because honestly, this is like pretty boring shit. Uh, not that great, you know, at all. But we'll see how it goes, I guess. Other current events, Game Awards conversations are coming up. There's right now talks that Black Myth Wukong might just sweep the Game Awards and everything like that. Uh, I haven't played it. It looks good. But from what I understand, at least the people I've talked to say that it's a pretty just generic action game. Like it looks good and the story is fine, but like it's not really necessarily innovative in the sense that the other contenders are like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the remake of that. Um, I don't I don't necessarily. You've talked about this before. I don't necessarily look at awards that much, just because it's sort of hard to tell what the award is being given for. There's not that much criteria. It's not like a test where there's like a rubric and everything. Like the criteria of what's the best movie, what's the best award, game, what's the best piece of music changes from the like year to year. So it's like sort of hard to say, yeah, this game is clearly a game of the year contender or a game of the year like it deserves to have that award. I don't know. And at 3, 2, 1, that's 10 minutes. That's all I can do. My mind is right now completely scattered. This is not what I was intending on doing. Hopefully next week episode is better. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.